Hey guys, James here today and welcome back to another Sims 3 house building video. It has definitely been a fairly long time since I've done one of these, but we're back, so have no fear. Building another small lot here in the sort of center of Aluna Island, just next to that other sloping one that I did a couple builds ago. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I wanted to do something small today because it's been a while since I've built in The Sims 3 and I had to get used to it again. And I didn't really want to do anything big. I did actually start building another large house elsewhere, but then I just got stuck and I was like, I really don't know what to do with this, so I'm going to try something a little bit smaller, keep it simple, and we'll go with that. So essentially the house itself is just a rectangle sitting on a plot. This house doesn't end up too expensive. I think it's around 28,000. That's a complete guess. I guess we'll see as we get toward it. But yeah, anyways, got a nice little sort of small deck out the back there, so you can have a little table on it and have a nice little barbecue looking over the Aluna Island Canal, which you can't really see here. But if you've been keeping up with Aluna Island, or if you've played it, you'll know what I'm talking about. So at the moment, I'm just sort of playing around with color schemes, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I've actually chosen to go with sort of a gray deck outside. I was playing. I didn't quite know what tone I wanted to go with. It's quite dark at the moment. I'm not sure if I lighten it up at all. I think I actually make it a little bit darker later on, but then I sort of turn it around. I mean, I end up doing this whole color scheme where the outside is like the decks and the sort of fences are like gray, and then the house is a nice bright blue, but then the problem with that is it looks really, really grey. if you use a lot of grey, believe it or not, it ends up looking really grey. But I did change that. I lightened it up a little bit. It was just something a little bit different from just using all the usual kind of colours that I've been, playing around with in all the other houses. Using the columns here. So, when I decided to go back to the Sims 3, what I've actually done is I've deleted all the store content from my game because I was just, every time I went back to Sims 3, I was just so sick of it lagging. There was so much lag every time I loaded it up. Every time I loaded up creator style and the catalog, because there's so many items. And just deleting the hundreds of store content items I had made the game run so much better. It's so much nicer to build it and play with now, without all those sort of extra store items. So, having said that, I mean, you don't have to worry about there being any store items in the houses anymore. Still using all expansion packs, of course, but eventually, in about 5 years' time, when I finish this island, there will be base game versions of the houses, hopefully. If I do them or not. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so no more store content just because it makes the game run so much smoother. And I don't want to use store content because it's too laggy. Too laggy these days. Anyway, yeah, because I'm just so used to playing The Sims 4 and it's like the game just runs really smoothly. Having said that, The Sims 3, I love the customization in the colors and patterns. It's just such a thing that you take for granted in The Sims 3. Because, I mean, after 4 years of playing The Sims 3 and being able to choose whatever color or whatever pattern you wanted, you kind of just get used to it. And then you go over to The Sims 4 and you're like, oh, I've got to use that color again. It is frustrating, but that's why it's nice to come back to The Sims 3. And I think it's good in a way that The Sims 4 is different. I mean, The Sims 4 has some features that are nicer than The Sims 3, of course, but I think it's good that they're different enough that it sort of provides a different experience building in each game. And that's kind of exciting. So it's nice to come back to The Sims 3 and experience some different aspects of the game. Anyways, so yeah, I lightened up the color scheme. I kept the grey deck. I lightened it up a little bit, and then I just changed the fences to a white instead, just because it looked better. The white sort of windows and trims and that looked a little bit nicer. But then I kept the grey stairs and deck, and I think that looks quite nice actually. It's a nice little bit of contrast. So putting up plenty of windows in the living space. The living space is obviously that long 4 by whatever room it is. Then we have 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. So you could have probably 4 Sims here. You could put 2 beds in the second bedroom. I did 2 double beds. So there's like a master bedroom and then there's a second double bedroom. But you could obviously change that into bunk beds or 2 singles or something like that. So you could easily have 4 Sims in this fairly small house, but of course you can always extend it. I was considering building another sort of room below the house, but not putting anything in it. So just having sort of like a basement kind of thing that was, I guess, storage or something like that. But then I was like, no, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I want this to stay a pretty small house. And that it is. Yeah, so just going through, putting in these lights. I believe those are little, ceiling lights from Ambitions. Chucking them in. Keeping it cool. So we've got a really small sort of U-shaped kitchen. I wouldn't suggest having more than 1 sim in this kitchen at a time. It will get cramped. So I've gone for a sort of a tealy sort of, no, it's not really teal, it's more of an aqua sort of cabinet color on the bottom. And then the sort of overhead cabinets are white. Along with the countertops as well. I don't know. I like the color of the counters. They look quite nice. And then we went with all modern appliances. It's a fairly, it's kind of like a mix between the modern / non-modern interior. Well, I guess modern and I don't know, beachy. I don't even know what the hell the style's called. I don't know. Anyways, getting some tiles on the wall in the kitchen for a little bit of backsplash detailing. Because you kind of need that. I'm getting a food processor, a microwave. There's also a dishwasher, and I believe there's a trash compactor in the kitchen. So even though it's a really small kitchen, it does actually have anything. Oh, everything, not anything. Going for some bright yellow chairs for a little bit of pop of color. I really like that how this room actually turns out in the end. This whole living space, I think it turns out really, really nicely. In the end. Just wait for the screenshots, and I think it looks really, really cool. I don't think there's any computer in this house, but I guess who needs a computer when you're living on a beautiful island? But you could always add one, of course. Just looking around for it's amazing how I was like looking for all these items. I'm like, oh, that was store content. That was store content. It's amazing how like sort of complacent I got with using all those sort of decorative items. I guess that's what store content was good for, having all those little extra items that you don't get in the regular game. But, you know, I get used to it, and I'll move on. Just getting a little freestanding mirror between the doors, because we have like 3 doors on that wall there. Because, I mean, this main room that we're in now is kind of like a hallway / living space, so trying to fit everything in is a little bit of a challenge, but I think it works pretty well. So we got 2 2-seater sofas, so all 4 Sims can sit down there. We have 4 seats at the dining table, of course, so everybody can fit around the dining table. So there is enough room and items for 4 Sims to use, which is it's always good to know, I guess. Just doing a little end table there next to the sofas and also next to the door. So if you came in and you wanted to put something down, you could, although now you can't because there's flowers on it. But, you know, well, you win some, you lose some. You know, that's just how the world works. Putting up some window dressings now, getting some light blue curtains. I thought they looked all right, so we chucked them in. I really miss the in Sims 4 how TVs are separate to tables, because I really wanted to put a different table underneath that TV. Alas, I could not do it. That Generations bookshelf there actually fits really, really well just sort of underneath that window and fills up that sort of vertical space between the windows as well. I thought that was like perfect. I couldn't ask for a better fit. Going for a bathroom. This is also the point where I started looking at the cost of the house. I was like, oh, I could have made this a starter home, but then I had already gone so far as to do like a sort of fairly high-end kitchen. So I was like, well, I might as well not. There's no point starting to skimp now on particular items. So I didn't bother doing anything too cheap in the house. So what's the cost at now? We're at 26,000. So I don't think it's going to get that much more expensive. Probably, I guess maybe around 30,000, 33,000 is my guess. I don't know. I just don't know. But we'll find out after these short messages. Insert ad break here. Good. Welcome back. There was no ad break there, but I don't know why I did that. Anyways, that's the master bedroom there. I don't know. This was also the point when I was selecting the bedspread, and I was like, oh, I really, really miss this in The Sims 4. You know, I really miss picking the pattern. Not necessarily even the pattern, just the color. I miss picking the color in The Sims 4, because especially with beds. I've mentioned this before, but something needs to be done about the beds in Sims 4. Like the frame and the sheets change as one. That is the worst. It's so hard to match beds with anything, and I often end up using the exact same bed all the time because there's not enough variation. Anyways, this is Sims 3, so let's not talk about Sims 4. So here's the second bedroom. A little bit cheaper bed, you know. A little end table there, and enough room for a full-sized wardrobe as well. A nice little sort of decorative mirror and a painting on the wall. And then I think that's more or less it. And then I think I do sort of deck furniture like the barbecue and a few little seats. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I knew what I was going to do. Yeah, so we got a little barbecue in the corner there, so you could have a nice fry up. Not fry up, why would it be a fry up? It's a barbecue. You could have a nice BBQ up. And have all 4 family members sitting out there, or you can have a nice sit on the little benches I'm going to put here. Although there's going to be another house next to it on the right eventually, so you will just be looking at someone else's house, which I guess you may be into, but for now they can look out over the nice grasslands that are Luna Island. So just doing the landscaping now and terrain painting, keeping it pretty simple because it's supposed to be a cheap house. So where are we now? 36,000? Oh, okay, so it's a little bit more expensive than I guessed it was going to be, but I think it's going to be worth it. Especially that I do put in a lot of shrubs and plants and stuff here, so that probably, yeah, that's already driven up the price. 42,000, yeah. Okay, plants are expensive, but you know, it looks better with the plants, I think. 44,000. There's like 3 to 4,000 invested in plants in this house. Anyways, about to jump into the screenshots here. So here's the front of the house. You can see the other house next door. This is on the main road in Luna Island called Aluna Drive. This is number 9 Aluna Drive, I believe. There's the plaza just across the road. So really, really convenient to do all your shopping needs. Oh, wait. You don't need to do shopping in The Sims 3, but you could if you wanted to. So you got the business career over there. You got the bistro. You got I think the cinema's there somewhere. I don't know. It's all across the road. It's pretty handy. So here's the outside deck area where you can sit down, and then we'll go to the main living space. Oh, I think that looks really, really nice. I think it's like so cozy and nice. I don't know. I really like the look of it. So there's the sitting area. Just a little closer up look at it. And there's the dining area with the bright yellow chairs matching those little lemons on the table. I think that looks kind of cool. And another look down the room, just because I thought it looked cool. I had to do another picture of it. There's the kitchen. Kind of hard to get a good picture of the kitchen because it is quite small, like I mentioned before, but it's all in there. Another angle of it there. A couple of oars on the wall as well. Make it a little bit beachy. There's the master bedroom, or a one shot of it, and we'll get another little bit of angle. And of course, the download link is in the description as always, and you can find it down there. But yeah, so thank you for watching. If you have any comments, suggestions, or feedback, leave it down below. And yeah, it's all good stuff. But there's the second bedroom, of course, and the floor plan screenshot. But thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, and have an awesome day.